And we're going to send it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show and tell event. We are live streaming these now. We live streamed it last month, and that was a lot of fun. So we wanted to continue doing that this month as well. We've got a bunch of folks in Gather. If you're joining us in YouTube, there's a link to the Gather space that's pinned in the chat. So if you'd like to join us here in this live setting, you should be able to pop right in there. You're looking for the main auditorium. So if you'll find the subway station and there's a little tutorial for how to walk around, you're looking for the space in the main auditorium. That's where you'll find all of us. And as always, here's how the flow goes. We've got this show-and-tell.webflow.io site that you can go to sign up, to speak, and present. All of the presenters will get 5 minutes to kind of give their spiel, present their work, and we'll give a couple minutes for Q&A after. Signups are open now officially, right? Colleen, are we ready to receive signups?
Yes, signups are open.
Great. Okay, so signups are open, and I think that's it. Aviv is going to kick us off as the first presenter, I do believe. You know what I didn't do, Colleen? I don't think I sent you the control room or the titles. I'll do that as Aviv starts, and we'll get the titles live up for folks. Yeah. But Aviv's going to start it off. Here's how it's going to work. Everybody's going to get their little 5 minutes, and then we'll do the Q&A. And I think that's it. Anything else that we're missing, Colleen, for instructions?
Well, why don't I just run through a couple other kind of logistics items, and as I'm pulling that up, this is put together by the Finsweet Events Committee, and I think some folks are in here, so maybe just throw some confetti if you were part of helping make today's event happen. So that we can kind of see all that and get recognition for the work that you're doing. As Raymmar mentioned, the form is available. Please fill it out as much as possible, because we've got 3 people, Daniel, Penny, and Victoria, who are going to be live tweeting this event. They're going to be using that form. Use the form to sign up to present. There is on that page a link to see the queue. I will be sharing throughout the event in the chat who's coming up next, so please keep an eye out for that. Each presentation is 5 minutes. I'm sharing my screen. That has the timer. So if you're not sure where things are time-wise, keep an eye on that. We typically do 3 minutes for Q&A, and I will have a separate timer for that too. So, and if you are sharing something that has sound, the sound will not come through for the audience. So.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing would also be to, mute yourself if you're not presenting. Also, when you do present, if you could come out here and jump on stage. I see Melissa's got the follow feature turned on, so she's following me up on stage. And that's who will present now. So Melissa joined us last month as our co-host. So Melissa, would you like to say a couple words and say hello to the folks here in Gather as well as on YouTube?
Sure. I'm so excited to be here again. The first one was so awesome. I loved giving everybody feedback. I actually have been following up with almost all of them, making sure, that their project keeps going well. And I'm just excited to be here again.
Nice. Yeah, it was so much fun. And this is turning into one of my favorite events in the community, because it's all about you here in the community sharing your work. So without any further ado, Aviv, I think, is up first. Colleen, I just shared with you the little title slides in case you want to update those as we go and people are presenting. And I'll turn it over. Aviv, you're up. 5 minutes. Whenever you start speaking, we'll start the clock.
Cool. Thank you, Raymmar. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, everyone that were part of this. So I'm gonna present today a project, kind of documentation and memorial project for the high school that I was as a student, that I went to as a student. And there is in Israel, I'm from Israel, and we have this before senior year, each student, or most of the students, fly to Poland to see some of the Second World War remains, some of the Holocaust sites, and to just take it all in as part of the 1 year before you end high school. So my high school decided that they want to have a yearly project, and not to have only that trip to Poland, but also have students interviewing some survivors. And what they did until recently was a yearly book that each student or each group of students interviewed a survivor and wrote it, summed it up and wrote it, and they published the book. And from this year on, it's going to be a live website. So I'll share my screen and I'll show you the website. So this is the website, obviously built in Webflow. It's in Hebrew, so you'll have to trust me when I tell you what is written down. We have the name of the website is Documentation and Memory. I guess that would be a short translation. And the idea is to give front stage to all the survivors and their personal stories. And there is a little bit of about sections, and the headmaster speaks, and we have some general timeline just about the things that happened during the Second World War. Then we have a featured story, which is randomized by Webflow, and you can go read that full story. And then just a contact form. That's the main page, and the main thing on the website is are the stories. So if we go into the to the stories page, obviously I used here Finsweet attributes to filter and sort everything. We have a card for each survivor, and each card takes you to a personal story, and you can see pictures, you can read everything about the survivor. If there is an audio or video, it will also be presented here. The story is tiled to during the war, after the war, and the life now of the survivor. And what's I think the biggest thing here is that everything is made by the students. So I sent out this form to all the students, and they can fill it out themselves with all the details. They can just geographically where the survivor is from, and the address, and the story itself, and pictures and audio files and video files. And it all goes into a Google Sheets form. And then I use Integromat or Make the scenarios are now manually operated, but in the future, the plan is that they will be automated. So once a new testimony goes into the form, there is like a full scenario that takes the testimony, finds out if there is already some testimony at the same name, or if there is a country from the same testimony, from the same survivor, and then creates the testimonial inside Webflow. If the country exists, it attaches it to the country, and if there is no country, it creates a new country, and basically takes everything from the Google Sheets into Webflow. And I guess the main thing here is the students are very involved, and they feel that the progress finally catches up with them, instead of having it as a hard book paper. That's a thing that is less hip today, I guess. They fill a form and they know it's live on the website. So that's generally the project. It was very nice and very interesting to work with a high school, with the non-tech people, and completely not related to what I usually do.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Aviv. Does anybody have questions or any thoughts for Aviv?
I think that, it's such a beautiful initiative, first of all. And just the whole system in the back end, I think that it's just so great that you were able to give them a solution where they can just drop the stories there for everybody to read and hear or look at, view. So yeah, I mean, I think it's really, really awesome. The only thing design-wise that I would just say would be maybe to remove, and this is my personal opinion, the white overlay on top of the images, because I feel like the images are so powerful. Like, I really would just love to see them more clearly. But apart from that, I think it's just super, super awesome what you did.
Thank you.
Of course.
Nice. Anybody else have thoughts or questions for Aviv? I see some comments coming in. Well done. Such a cool project. Yeah, it's got to be one of those like some strong sentimental vibes there. So, any other thoughts or questions for Aviv?
Hello. Hey, this is Liviu. One quick comment. Really, really nice work, and I love the fact that this is for social and you can learn about the stories. When you first log in, enter the website, the animation feels a bit slow. It's really soft because I think you're going for that nice feeling of discovery, but people might not have enough patience to kind of watch that whole animation. But this is just a minor comment.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely have always still have thoughts about that animation at the beginning, because as you said, we're trying to keep it as soft as possible. I know that the majority of the people that or the users that goes into the website are seniors, so we try to keep it as low in animation as possible, and if we have animations, to have it as smooth as possible. There was a thought to completely remove all animation and have it just load and be as simple, just as simple. But the decision for now is to have the animation, and you're saying maybe it's too slow. I'll think about it again.
Yeah, and I think the rest of the when you scroll down and you reveal the other kind of sections, that's really nice. It matches nicely the flow. So I don't think that will be too distraction for. Actually, I think it's going to help. Have a softer kind of navigation. But great work.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, well, we're winding down on Aviv's time there, and it looks like we do have the next presenter. I saw that from you, Colleen, and now it's like scrolled up into the, is it Rian Velders is coming up next. And for those of you who are interested, let's see, what do we have? 50 people in here. How many people are on the stream? Let's see, 24 now, 29 now. Okay, let's see. If we get to let's see if we can get to 50 on the stream. If we can get to 50 on the stream, we're gonna drop a little special sneak peek today. So if we can get to 50 folks on the stream, so turn on the browser. Look, there's 50 of you in here, so just cheat code, I'm just saying. We're gonna drop a little something sneak peek at the end of the show. We're gonna do a little Finsweet show and tell special. So, okay, I think is it Ryan up next? It's all yours. We'll start the clock when you start.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I'm gonna be showing is a project that I'm working on that's like crypto related, but that doesn't really matter at this point. It's still in the works. And it uses CMS filter and nest. So the page scrolls here. I'm just gonna go through it. Also uses GSAP. As you can see, it still has to be filled in, and it has some missing parts, but it's the first time I'm showing it to anyone. Here's the filter. It uses CMS collections to filter everything. You have like the projects, and then here you can also click to get a grid view. This all uses just one collection, not like multiple things that then hides the one and the other. It just gives more classes to everything. You have the filters here. We can, like, for example, choose this one, or doesn't matter. What I want to build on top of this is pagination, but I'm having a little trouble with the filter component and pagination, because then the filter doesn't go through the full filters, full collection. Let's just choose a quick one. So the point of this website was actually to direct more attention to the design of a landing page from a crypto project, because most of the time they're just pushing whatever project they have and the website just falls apart. This is more something for like a certain community to help them increase awareness on web design. So I guess that's it.
I love it. The only thing that I'm thinking about here is like in the design front, I feel like this is a great opportunity to play with typography sizes. You know, make them a little bit bigger, maybe, just so it just looks more techy and modern and just a little bit bolder. Not sure if that's the idea that you're going for, but it sort of gives me that route.
Totally. Sorry if I'm cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
I actually wrote it down, like what I'm still working on and what I was expecting to get some feedback on. I'm a little bit nervous, so that's why I'm kind of forgetting some things. But so I'm still like figuring out the typography, because if I'm going to share my screen again. If I show the page, I actually made it so that it's completely fluid and but I am looking to make the typography like to adapt it a little bit more. The font that I've chosen here goes in the right direction, but it's not yet exactly what I want. And I am playing with like the sizes, but for some reason when I go too big, it feels a little bit too gimmicky. Keeping it a little bit smaller keeps it more like clean and together. The only place where I'm really struggling on what I should do is here. This size is all right, but when I go to grid, I find the balance is a little bit like falling apart. And I'm also thinking about maybe I should not use this font for the titles in the directory, and just use it for like the biggest headings.
Yeah.
I don't know if that like gives an answer to like, or the.
Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, I think that on the grid and on the other view, maybe don't use that one. That's a complicated font because it's just so like blocky that when it's small, it becomes like hard to read. So maybe, yeah, replacing that one would be smart. And I like that the text on the heading is responsive, fluid. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I would just try playing with it and see what happens. Just to make it more like what they say, pop more.
We didn't get enough cleans during the description, you know? We didn't get enough like, oh, it's clean in the description, right? Yeah. I actually think the style was smooth. I like the openness. I like the subtle interaction on the directory page where it's like you tease the top of the home page, and then as you scroll down, it like pulled it all into view. And there were some nice little subtleties in there that I liked, just in general about that design too. Did anybody else have? I see. Is that Aviv with your hand up? Does somebody else have a thought here, real quick?
Yeah. I'd love to hear more about the toggle view.
The list versus grid view.
What do you want to know about it?
So how did you create it, and what did you what does it do exactly? Does it change like the most simple thing? Is it complicated?
Yeah. So it's actually pretty simple. I have like the way that I keep it manageable to design on both is I have two pages. Like the main page is where the normal view is, and then in my style guide page, I have the same collection, the same setup, but with added classes of like grid view. And then on the normal page, I just make sure that the button, whenever you click it, it adds a class of grid view to certain components using simple JavaScript, like a JavaScript class adding. There's a tool for that. I think it was shared by Timothy Ricks. So I just used that to add classes on top, and then I styled it completely differently. I try to keep in mind like what goes where and how can I shift it so that it doesn't require to have a duplicate of the title, a duplicate of the image. That is actually just like switching from flex horizontal to flex vertical and thinking about it like that.
Nice.
Nice.
I guess when you're the designer and the developer, that's like the best thing that you can do, because you can decide what goes where, and then with that you can play as much as you want. That's something that's nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, great. All right. Well, Ryan, thanks for sharing that with us. Did we get your name right? Was there? Is it Ryan?
Yeah, it's actually Rian.
Rian,
but
that's
you
what
can say Ryan.
No. I was wondering if it was a
Yeah.
Rian or if it was a long or a short I there. Okay, Rian.
No problem. By the way, I just wanted to quickly say, like a couple live streams ago, like a long time ago, you used to have your headset in reverse. That was me always calling you out.
Okay. Well, now we know.
Right.
Thank you for tying that back. Okay. Let's see. Brian says woohoo 50 members on the stream. No. On the stream, YouTube. Maybe it's 50 likes. Okay. So we're gonna move Ryan over to the presented queue, and Liviu is up. Who always has some cool stuff to share. I'm actually excited for this to see what you've got for us today. If you haven't seen any of this guy's work, you're in for a treat. So, stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for, again, the opportunity to be part of the community. I've been a little absent in the past couple of months, but I always check in and always come back. So thank you so much for all the amazing content that you guys put forward. Awesome. So what I'm going to show today is going to be, since it's May, the mental awareness month. I started to work on this project a couple of months back in April, and I wanted to launch it in March, but unfortunately I had some difficulties working on it. But primarily I wanted to create something that is focusing on mental health and something that it can potentially be for social good and informational. So the subject that I focus on mental health is OCD, because OCD is kind of the least understood mental condition, and a lot of people, there is a lot of people out there that I think will benefit by, learning more about it. So in terms of how I kind of wanted to do a visual kind of storytelling, but also I wanted to kind of have a visual style that helps me talk about the condition. So I'm using some very simple geometric shapes in 3D, but they're very intentional. It's the idea by shifting your thoughts, because that's what happens in OCD. It's obsession and compulsion, so it's always shifting. So I have this kind of simple interaction here with kind of shift from left to right. And then you kind of can dive in what is obsession compulsion disorder. And here it has a brief introduction. I'm using this kind of system throughout to be able to kind of showcase the information as best as possible. So I have different sections. This one, it's about an error in thinking. So trying to match the visuals with the context of the content. Then as I scroll down, I have different transitions between sections. Again, everything should be very intentional. And then I go into explaining obsessions. So these are just a few obsessions. There's a lot more, not just 4 of them. But these are the most common ones. And that can lead into more. And then compulsions, what are compulsions? And just giving a couple of examples of compulsions. So again, having the same visual style throughout, very simplified, to be, in line with all the content. And I have more sections, quotes, recovery and options. That's a big part of the website. It's just informational, but I also kind of want to have content that can provide. It's not meant to diagnose, that's a disclaimer, OCD or things like that, but it's really meant to provide information about it. But something that I kind of wanted to do is provide some information about self-help, because obviously, the first step would be to get some help from a professional, but not everybody has access. So a couple of information, how can you get self-help? And then what I'm working right now, it's adding some real stories with people that have, this condition and experience this condition. What I'm working right now. And yeah, last thing is just one page, and I have a quick navigation here that you can go back to each section of the website.
That's cool.
So it can be easier to navigate. Awesome. Yeah, it's been 2 months since I started working, and I purchased a domain and hosting, and hopefully launch it today, and then build it into something, better over time. But any feedback, I will love any feedback, any comments that will help this to become stronger.
I absolutely love it. I think I have 2 main comments about this. The first one is, I feel like that's how you do storytelling for healthcare. Like, it's just so sleek, so clean. It communicates everything. There's enough text, and all of the graphics and animations go hand in hand to tell the whole story. Like, they're not there just to drop an animation. They're really serving a purpose, which I think that's just the main goal of those 3 things. And then from the other standpoint, like from the user standpoint, if I was somebody that had OCD and I see this graphics, I would be so happy, because I feel like everything just fits together perfectly. And, it's like, from that standpoint, I feel like it just kind of seems like you had so much empathy for that user to provide to them a type of design that they can feel comfortable like scrolling through, which is so important in healthcare. When you work in a healthcare focused website, you want to make sure that you catch the people's attention, but still also communicate the main goal of the site. So I think you absolutely killed it. I love the typography, the colors, the animations, everything. I would love to hear what everybody else says.
That little menu at the bottom is probably my favorite.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The only concern I had while working on this is not, when you have this type of scale and animations, it's not super accessible for everybody. So I was thinking the past 2 weeks to create a version that it has more accessibility options, so you can choose if you want to have the visual storytelling or just a option that is a bit more traditional. So I don't, I have access to all types of audiences.
Yeah, I don't know too much about accessibility, but I think it's important to have a version that it's not, that doesn't have so much animation. Like, keep it very simple for people that just want to read and really just go straight to the point.
Exactly.
Is that navigation available before the end of the page, or that was?
Yes.
Okay.
So this one, it's not very clear, so I'm thinking just put a menu button or a menu text. And I've been struggling to make it work on mobile, this navigation, but I think it's important to have it also on mobile. On mobile, it's a bit more traditional when you kind of scale down the website, which is great. Yeah, it's not reacting on scroll in view interaction, it's just looping all the animations, and then it kind of stacks everything in place. It's not reacting on scroll in view interaction, it's just looping all the animations, and then it kind of stacks everything in place.
Okay.
It's not reacting on scroll
If,
in view interaction, it's just looping all the animations.
I think maybe somebody has the stream playing in the background. If you could mute that. Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering what's happening.
All right, so let's take a look at the flow here. Is it Joel coming up next? Okay. So
it is Joel coming up next, and we've got plenty of spots for anyone else who's been on the fence debating about whether or not you want to present. This is a friendly audience, so we'd love to see works in progress, things that you finished. We'd love to celebrate. So, or if you're stuck with something and have a question, that's fair game too.
yeah, and we're only, let's see, 10 people away from potentially some kind of little sneak peek here. So again, remember, if we get to 50 live concurrent viewers there, we will do a Finsweet sneak peek on a product that we are working on. So otherwise, we will not. And, that'll be that. So, Joel, you're up. The stage is yours. You got 5 minutes whenever you start presenting.
Hey, oh, walk up to the stage. There we go. Hey, everyone. This is definitely a work in progress. Let me just share my window. Can you see it okay? Cool. So for anyone that's been following me, my mission has been to bring the full suite of development tools to no code in a secure way. And I've been battling with it for months and 2 years, but around 18 months specifically on this. And then lots of different variations, lots of trial and error. And then last week, kind of everything fitted together. And this is a wireframe. So this is a very early show. It's just built using Reloom, focusing mainly on the technical side. But I wanted to share it to get some feedback. I love to keep the feedback loop as tight as possible. So the idea is, I know I'm not a designer. So we're leveraging libraries like Flowbase and waiting to hear from Reloom whether they'll be okay with me doing this. But effectively, it's going to be a marketplace, and it'll start off by us creating components. But to give you an example, we've got a page, and this is actually my own third time using the CMS. So it's a great learning curve. A lot of my users use external databases and internal systems and whatnot. But to give you an example, here's a live preview of a component that's pulling data directly from CoinGecko. So you've got live cryptocurrency prices, dynamic classes, and you've got dynamic links. But I wanted it to make it as easy as possible for anyone to be able to do stuff like this. So it's all comes back to this flow-based component. And again, we can't just let anyone copy a flow-based component because you've got to pay for them. And that's where the technical challenge comes in. And I just thought this would be a good use case to show what you can actually achieve with Webflow. So I'm going to refresh this page. And I'm going to copy this component. I'm going to go over to the marketplace. And this is just an example, but to give you an example of what you can do in Webflow, I'm going to go to copy component. And I've already copied it, so I'm just going to paste. And what that's going to do is it's going to convert this into a view component. And again, this isn't supposed to look pretty. This is a proof of concept, but it's working. So you can see the component was converted. Now we can click copy, and we've copied the component. So then you can go into a blank Webflow project and paste the component, and you can see we've now got the flow-based component, but slightly different. So we've got loaders, no dummy data, or anything like that. But obviously we still need some logic. So you can go back and you can go to the block builder. I'm not going to cover this now, but I'm just going to show you that you can copy JavaScript, and it's all pre-built, and it's going to be like no code friendly, but that's not the point of this. So then if we go back into Webflow, and all this is just designed in Webflow, we've tried to keep it as close to flow bases as possible. We have had to make a few changes. That's because it wasn't originally designed for this. But then if we go to the embed, we add the code and then save and publish, we'll now have a flow-based component which is completely interactive. So this is kind of showing the more technical side, and this is not using any external tools for APIs. This is just using CoinGecko's client-side API. So you can't use it in, like, I think you only get 50 requests per minute, but you can see we just created the component and that's live. So if we refresh, it's super fast. All the images are dynamic. We've got 100 items, prices, dynamic links, and that goes through to CoinGecko. So it's not so much a design one. It's like, it's very ugly, not their component, but as in what I've done here. Where is it? It's like very ugly. But it's built using Reloom, so it's client first. So it means that we can then hand over to a designer to make it look pretty, and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, it was just it was like a bit of a learning curve for me to use client first, and also just the CMS, because the CMS isn't something I get a lot of exposure to. So yeah, that's kind of it. I did it in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, if anyone's got any questions, yeah,
Guys,
love
just
to.
crazy stuff.
Yeah. Super cool. So let me ask you something. You're pulling the data from where?
So this is from CoinGecko. So if we go to the live demo and we go to CoinGecko, they've got an API. So they've got a free plan. And effectively with a free plan, there's no API key. So you can make a call from the front end. However, you only get 50 requests per minute. And then if you wanted to make it from a server side, we've got a tool to do that, or you could use something like Wiz, or Xano, or like anything like that. And our tool is Middle Link, just to name all three. But yeah, so it's like, this is kind of like the starting step, because in the past I was trying to teach everything, and it gets really difficult. Whereas this is like stepping stones more, so you can like create a view component and then call an API, and then if you need it to be production ready, then you can add like a service in between. So
Love
yeah,
it.
so this is the API, and I can't make it clonable right now. I'm just waiting for confirmation from Tom. He has said other things in the past are okay. So as soon as I get the go ahead, then I'll make this live. So anyone who's got a flow-based account will be able to give it a whirl and have a play around.
Very cool. I feel like that's one of the not issues, but that's one of the main things. Like when you want to call an API in Webflow, it's like a little bit tricky when you want to set specific type of information be brought in. So I think this is really cool. I love it.
Cool. And you can like use it for, say you wanted to pull like Instagram posts or like live.
Exactly.
Google
I'm
reviews.
actually working on a project. It's for a media company. So we need to pull news articles from various sources. So this would be perfect.
And again, this is, so we're not using anything in between. So if you did need an API key, then maybe look at like our tool or Wiz, or like there, if it needs an API key, then you do need to put something in between.
Yeah.
But like this can act as like a way to show you how to display the data. And then like I I'm sure at some point you'll be able to do it with other tools as well. But yeah.
Hey, Joel. Joel, how did you get the alternating shading on the table rows?
So that is, if we go to take a look here, there is a custom styles, and there's only 3 styles. So the first one is something I tweeted about today, and that's how you can like show and hide based on whether you're in the designer or it's a live site. And then this is the one for the alternating rows. So unfortunately, you can't do it natively in Webflow, but as you can see, there's only 3 styles I've had to add manually, and that is one of them. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can add that in the chat actually if anyone wants to, if anyone's not familiar with that. There you go.
I think that alternating row background can be done if you are using collection items like from Webflow.
Yes. This is, we're not using the CMS at all in this example.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we weren't able to, but you are correct. I believe that was quite a recent feature.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you for sharing that. That is super cool. Getting lots of compliments here in the comments. Joel's a code wizard. Really nice functionality. Great. Lots of people just saying it's very advanced. So I think this is more advanced than most no-code folks are used to seeing. But cool. And we appreciate you sharing. Thank you, Joel. All right. If we could have you, jump off the stage there. Let's see who's next. Kevin Watkins, it looks like, and we did cross the threshold on YouTube. So we did break that. We're actually up to 61 right now. Let's see some likes on there. I see a pretty low like count though. So anyway, Kevin is up next. We will do our little Finsweet demo towards the end here. Let's see what time. We didn't talk about that. Typically we go about an hour and a half for these. So we're about halfway through, I think, on that. We'll go for another 40-ish minutes here. As long as we've got presenters. So Kevin, you're up next. We've got a nice little audience on YouTube for you. Maybe it's the same folks actually sitting right here in Gather, but maybe there's some different folks. So anyway, stage is yours. We'll start the clock as soon as you start.
Awesome. Well, shoot, I have to follow Joel. That's tough. Mine's not as cool as that, but
you mind jumping in the middle of the stage?
Yeah,
there
Joel.
for us?
Actually, Oh yeah. Let's see. Sorry, I'm still getting used to Gather here.
No worries. Perfect.
Okay. Present. Okay. Joel, you actually downloaded signed up for components.io after we bumped into each other in Gather. So thank you for that. I think I'm going to be able to use it for a few things. Yeah, this is, I think last time I shared my Feral Media, like my main agency site. So this is me attempting to do more of a niche site because it's kind of hard to do marketing around. I guess my niche for my agency would be locally based things. But this, I work with a lot of contractors. We're kind of like a mountain resort town. So there's a lot of rich people moving here and building their houses, and lots of contractors are super busy. So I thought I'd take a stab at the niche side of it. And I kind of just wanted to productize my custom web design service. So this is the second iteration of this landing page site, and kind of go through some sales copy here, like what you can get in if you invest, our process, and then we have pricing as well. Custom agency sites and something that I can repeat easily. So I'm playing around with using different, like starting with my own templates, which, yeah, I think this one's from client first. So thank you guys. I just kind of reworked it a bit. So yeah, the idea here is just kind of get them to purchase ideally on here, get me out of the sales process, and have a little higher volume, and yeah, really just plug and play. So I provide copywriting both in my agency and this service, and I haven't sold any yet, so this is very new. But yeah, we would essentially, you'd sign up, go through our kickoff questionnaire, and then we'd write the copy. And I kind of have a copywriting framework based a bit on like story brand and a mix of like upside down homepage and some Julian Shapiro things. I've kind of created a thing that matches up to my questionnaire so I can bust out the copy pretty quick. And ideally they choose one of these, and I just swap out the colors, the logos, and the copy. And I'm hoping to, get a website done in a few hours versus right now it takes a few months with custom everything. So yeah, this is essentially a new kind of side project I'm working on. It's the logo's even just like a variation of my logo, but I just turned it upside down and made it into a house. So yeah, there's things there I'm working out, but yeah, it's very new, and yeah, this is my attempt at like productizing my services. It's not a new concept by any means. I realize that, but yeah, that's I'll let you guys know when I get a sale, but that's where I'm at right now.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing for marketing? Like, how are you reaching people? How are you getting this in front of folks? Like, what are you doing different from maybe like your existing web stuff to maybe try this productized attempt?
Yeah, so I joined the local builders association this year. So I've been putting ads in their newsletter that goes out to all the builders. You don't need to be a builder to be a part of the builder association, so that's kind of a cool networking opportunity. And I just brought on a commission sales guy who we sent to, like, we had a home and garden show this weekend. So he went there, I printed out some business cards and flyers, sent him, and yeah, he went out and kind of talked to all these contractors. So yeah, those are my two marketing angles right now, still working at it. And then, I get a flow of leads into my main site, and some people are more price sensitive. So, obviously I'd prefer to do the higher end custom stuff, but if they are looking for maybe something cheaper, I can direct them here, have them choose one of the templates and get them going there. And then maybe later down the line when they're ready and their business grows, they'd go for a custom thing with Farewell, and then I can pass them over. Yeah, and kind of vice versa.
Such a smart approach.
Yeah, like they're like, I don't like these templates. They're like, well, like check out my packages on my main site, and then I can kind of give leads back and forth between the two. So yeah, still very new. I've got a lot of marketing to do, but yeah, the newsletter has gotten me like a leader so far. It's like $25 a week to get my ad in there.
Great. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions or thoughts for Kevin?
I think it's awesome. I loved this one. Remember you present the other one on the last show and tell. This one I absolutely love. Super clean, it serves the purpose. I love what you did with the logo. Maybe I would just move the margin or the padding on the hero wrapper a little bit so it's above the fold. I don't know if it's
to get all of it in there.
Yeah, the call to action on the bottom. But it's really cool. I love it, and I love everything you're doing, like your little sales funnel, the marketing. Like it's just so well thought out. I was actually speaking to somebody earlier about something like this that they wanted to do. So I think this is really cool that you're focusing on your area, that you joined that group, and then you can focus on other industries. Is that something that you're looking to do?
Yeah, actually I unsuccessfully tried that in 2020. I was in videography before I switched to web design. So I tried the videographer niche. The website's probably still up. So this is my second attempt, but this one kind of just fizzled out. And I built this 2 years ago, so I hate it now. But Yeah, I tried videographers, but I quickly found that they're too creative and they're kind of difficult to deal with. It's like dealing with me. So
that is very true. They're a tricky industry.
Yeah, but I'd be interested. Yeah, they're just very particular. But if I had a set of templates that I can like constrain them to, I think that might help. So I might try the videography pitch again, like video production. But yeah, this is my
something that maybe could be cool to add and even like make like a third plan or something, because I've worked with construction companies and realtors, and sometimes they just want to make their website sort of like the CMS where they can show the land plots that they have available or even like houses that they have in construction. So maybe like adding a third plan that maybe is $6,000 or $8,000, where you pre-package a CMS collection for them with Finsweet attributes, so they can list the plots that they have available in their area, the houses, which ones are in construction, which ones are available to move in right away, and that could really be like an important hook for them.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, where we live, like housing is, they sell like that. So it's we're definitely got a housing shortage.
If anybody's gonna go in an industry now, go in construction.
Yeah, well, it's funny. They're so busy that they don't want more work. So that's been a hurdle I have to get over. Like they're like, I don't want any more work, so why would I need a website? So I have to use the other angles of like building your reputation and saving you time to really get them to buy, because they don't want more projects. But so I have to convince them that they can charge more if they have a better looking website. So that's been interesting. Like sales is not a pitch for me right now, and with this industry, which is very it goes against everything I know. But yeah.
Kevin, do you offer copywriting for other agencies or studios, design studios? Because I'm starting my own design studio either the end of the year or early next year, and that's what I've been looking for, a good copywriter, and just I'm throwing it out there. Is that something you would consider providing as a service, an individual service?
Yeah, it's funny you ask, because I just bought the domain, a domain for that. And yeah, it's something I consider, because I do have a process that I've worked a few years on, kind of using StoryBrand and tweaking it a bit with some of the other frameworks out there. So yes, I have considered. I started building a landing page for it. So yeah, there's interest out there. That could be something we look into as well.
Can you put that in the chat, the URL for that?
Yeah, I'm still working on it. Like I bought the URL and I just started building out some Reloom components. So yeah, I'll dive into that more. That's interesting, because I'm looking into that.
All right. Hey, just for the sake of time, we're going to move on to the next one. We're well past time here. I appreciate that. Kevin, feel free to share any other resources you'd like into the chat here. Maria was saying that on bigger screens, things are quite small. So maybe check, I don't know if you maybe by accident popped up to one of those larger breakpoints in Webflow or something like that. But yeah, take a look at that on some of those other screen sizes just as a piece of feedback. Wow, 92 folks watching on YouTube right now. Just a nice little round of applause for everyone. 95. Let's see if are we gonna catch a horn today on a show and tell? I was not expecting to catch 100 horn today, but
yes, we are.
Yeah, Jeff. And if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave a like. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're just here and gather, jump over to YouTube and leave a like on that. Maybe we'll get up to the 100 there on the like side of things. I do see we've got some new signups. So Jeff will be up next, followed by Jeremy. And then based on time, we will allow it'll go to Breeona and then Kamran. But somewhere in there, we're going to sneak in our little Finsweet sneak peek. So if you're one of the late signups, we will try to get everyone in. But let's keep an eye on the clocks as we're presenting here. So Jeff, you're up, and I almost saw it hit 100. So let's go, y'all. Jeff, stage is yours, 5 minutes.
All right. Hey, everybody, I want to bring everyone's expectations way down from what we've seen so far. I'm pretty new still with Webflow. What I'm going to show is the second site that I have built, and it's a work in progress, but it's something I'm calling Story Bio. It's the concept is that it's an alternative to something like Linktree, where you get to actually include a little bit of a story before sharing your links. So it's meant to be kind of a social media bio type page. So let me share screen here. This one. So this is what it looks like. It's intended to be mobile friendly first, so I'll kind of mock it up this way. So when you create it, you get this this kind of book cover. There's some buttons where you can kind of click through, flips through pages. You get these 3 short chapters, and then sort of the back cover of the book, where you can put your links in. You can, if you were to share this in your profile, people could create their own by going to the sort of homepage here. Got some quick instructions for, what it looks like, how to set it up. This works with an Airtable base, so there's a form you fill out. It uses the Noble app to pull the data into a CMS, and then the page gets created. So it's intended to make it really easy for people to just submit their information and then get the form, get a page set up that they can share. Yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, this is a new project. So yeah, open to any feedback, any thoughts, or any suggestions on how to make it work or look better.
Jeff, this is so cool. I can't believe this is your second project.
Yes.
That is amazing. And the fact that you have Airtable already connected, like, I think it's so cool. First, I loved the whole idea of the book, that you can actually flip the pages. I think that's such a great idea. It keeps it super interesting. Honestly, I think it's great. In a month, 2 months, you're going to be building a whole marketplace on Webflow, honestly.
Thank you.
Love it.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Any thoughts or questions for Jeff here?
Everybody's saying, what a great idea. It gives me early iPhone vibes. Yes.
Yeah.
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 I do think like the Linktree thing is so played out. Everyone's got the little Linktree thing, and it's so simple to do that with just a little bit of Webflow skills, you can create something that's loads as fast and is 10x more beautiful. So I like playing on that concept and giving people a variation on that. I think that could catch on, and I like having a little bit of a story behind that. Those Linktree bios is just hey, here's 5 links or something, and so I like having a little bit of narrative in there that can draw the user in. I could totally see that that being really effective.
Yeah. Oh, I think in the design, I would find inspiration from real books. How do they feel? What type of texture do they have? So there's a resource, Creative Market, that I use a lot for textures. So maybe look for book textures and use them as the background on the cover, and that will give it that special feeling that you're actually opening a book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the second thing would be on the animation, make sure to play with easing and duration, because that will help you give that sort of faster than slower, kind of the paper's falling. But yeah, I think overall it's really, really cool. I love it, Jeff.
Awesome. Thank you. Those are great tips. Thank you.
Awesome.
Sure.
And you're getting lots of love, both in YouTube and in the comments here. So yeah, just kudos to. I know you're probably a little hesitant following the last presentation, but you held strong there. You held strong. Very nice.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, nice. Next up, we have Jeremy, one of our events committee OG members here, also one of the hosts of No Code North, along with Penny and Maggie, super active in the Webflow and No Code community. And I think this is a continuation, if I'm not mistaken, Jeremy. Is this something you've shared before that you're kind of updating progress on?
No, this is. I don't think I've shared this one before.
Okay.
It's kind of a pre though, because I am going to be working with a designer to completely overhaul the look of things. But this is more a developing end of stuff that I've been working on for a while, creating a login system using Firebase. Garrett from Chainlift helped me out connecting bits and pieces of it, but I was kind of doing this convoluted update for people updating their profiles. So this is a site for underrepresented and excluded artists from country and Americana, so BIPOC, LGBTQIA, and disabled artists. And so I wanted to create a space for them to connect and also grow their audience. So I built the directory out and using Finsweet attributes, a lot of nest and filter and whatnot. So there's so people can search by musician or artist, and also by one of the communities or all of the communities. But what I wanted to show today was the login that I finally figured out how to do, and the update, which was a little more complicated. So I'm just going to do a quick login here.
And now we all get to send Jeremy emails. Oh.
So with the login, there's an update profile if the user matches. So by using Firebase and storing stuff in their Firestore like database, I can store Airtable IDs, Webflow IDs, and of course the Firebase UIDs. And so I can control if this button shows up for anybody else. So if somebody's not logged in, the button won't show up, and also an update profile form won't show up. But with this, someone can go in and live update their things in their profile. This changes. And just a quick update the listing, and then click to view the changes. And it's run by Make, so it's almost instant. As you see there, now the change to the profile took place. This changes the profile. And when you log out, it takes you to the front. And then if you try to, people, test user, we go back to the same page. There's no button. There's nothing there that indicates that you could. Now, of course, because it works very similar like MemberStack or any of the other ones, and it's not got a reverse proxy or anything on it. And the reason I didn't go that deep with it is because it doesn't need it. All of the information that's on the profile is public, except for certain fields that don't get filled in unless programmatically. So things like somebody's email, the UID doesn't get filled in the form. So somebody can't submit a form because Webflow won't let them submit because it's a required field. So they won't be able to submit the form. and have the information, and so it prevents that from happening, even if somebody does go in to the back end and show the form. So it's kind of a little extra security bit I was able to figure out. But I was using this system before where I had to like send an email to somebody to update their profile using Airtable pre-filled forms, and then you'd have to resend the link, and that just gets complicated, especially for people that aren't that familiar with tech or any of that kind of stuff. They don't understand why they have to use this link or that link or any of that. So so I just wanted to show that, and I will be the next reveal for this one will be the big update to the design of it, because it's very basic, because I'm much more on the developing end of things, but
Nice. Great. Does anybody have thoughts or questions for Jeremy?
Jeremy, yes, this was amazing.
Tanette?
Thank you.
Yeah, Jeremy, do they have the opportunity to upload their own videos, or is that already on their profile page?
So the way that I created it originally, so this is about the third iteration of it, and the way that I created it, maybe I should stop sharing. I'll just go back to sharing it because that's probably better. The way that I created it originally was using just so people's YouTube links or their Spotify links, just the ID parts of it, and created an embed so that that's all stored in the Webflow collection. And so that way, the idea was a lot of it doesn't change. And so, but if people keep their videos up to date and their playlists and stuff like that, all of that will change and be dynamic. But now it's gone a step forward where people can now change their bios and things like that really instantly as well. So.
And Firebase is like MemberStack. You mentioned a little bit about that, but I don't know about Firebase.
So this is more of a low-code solution to things versus MemberStack or Outseta or other ones, no-code version of it. There's a bit more to it. When you get into it, it actually doesn't have a lot. There isn't a lot of code to actually make it happen. And there's some great tutorials. The problem is Firebase changed quite dramatically as far as the instructions of things. They went through a major update, and so all of the old tutorials, you had to kind of switch things around to make them work with new Firebase, and that's been the complicating part. But there's a lot of great materials out there, and Firebase.io, which Garrett made up, will get you partway here. It'll get you to a login system. What I added on top of that was this ability to update and control what people could see and whatnot. So,
great, thanks.
Yeah, which is basically, that's the type of control you want in this type of things, like what the user sees and what they don't.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Jeremy, making some serious progress there on your no-code skills with Make and connecting all that, wiring up with Firebase and everything. Kudos on that. I know.
The big part of that was finding out that Make has, you can hook up Firestore to Make, which made this so much easier because then it's not nearly as much code. It's you can do it all visually with Make, which huge difference.
Great.
Hey, Jeremy, this is awesome. One thought, if it's still up for change, is the logo. Using the two different weights on the word country makes me think of the syllables of the word country, but that's not really a word you want to break down into syllables.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, love it. Looks awesome.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Jeremy. Okay, Colleen, I see a lot of up next. We're not going to make it to that many people. I can already tell just looking at the clock. We'll probably have one more, and then I'll do the presentation. So I see a bunch of people in here. I know we could probably go longer. We'll probably have to drop the stream or something. I might have to peel out of here. I'd hate to just say no, but just based on how we're going here with time, we do have a 90-minute time limit here. So I'm not sure if we will get to these last three, which may be queued up for next time. I don't know. Maybe we can take a poll and see if people want to stick around, and y'all can hang out in the space long after here for as long as you guys would like. So Breeona is going to be up next, and I will then give our little Finsweet preview, and then I don't know, we'll see. Share your thoughts how you want to handle that in the chat, and we'll discuss that offline. Breeona, the stage is yours. 5 minutes will start whenever you start presenting. Oh, I think you might be muted.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
There we go. Okay, there we go. Hi, everyone. Hey, okay, I'm nervous, so please don't mind my jitteriness, but I want to share my first project with you guys. I actually don't really know how I want to fit into the Webflow space, honestly, so I'm just doing art. That's basically what I do. So this first project that I did is branding along with design and development. It's a work in progress. So first I want to kind of share the design. I wanted to do something with 3D along with showing branding, photography skills that I have, design skills and things like that. So I decided to do a little macaron shop because they're cute, they're fun, they're colorful. I thought it would be a really good first project to work on. So after talking to a few of the people in the FN Pro community, my first initial thought for this would be to create like a build your own box type thing where you would go and you would choose the different macarons that you wanted and build your own box. But I kind of broke down those expectations a little bit until we get a little bit more with Webflow and the logic options that we have. So that'll be coming soon. That'll be something I can add on later. But for now, I just wanted to do a first initial project where I focused on making a design, focused on completing the design, focused on learning more with Webflow and the CMS features and things like that. So here's just like the basic, this is my first initial idea for what my design would look like. Okay, so moving on from there, I have gone into Webflow and I just now starting to learn client first, and I use Leroux, and yeah, so this is what we have so far. I want to go in, play around with this hero image here, do some cool things with the macarons floating around, things like that. I'm enjoying the little features that I'm able to do so far. Here, I want to play some more with like I'm learning the animation part, so don't mind the lags and stuff there. I want to offer a feature that says like limited here, things like that. So the person I can show the client that they can go in, and if you want to add a new flavor, you can do that here and do that there. And yeah, this is how it's looking so far. I went in, I had so much fun using client first. It was really easy to understand, and I enjoyed the Leroux library. It made it really, really, really easy. But yeah, this is what I have so far. Yeah, I think that's everything. But I'm open to all feedback. Thank you guys for watching my little thingy. But yeah, that's everything.
I love it. Love it.
So,
absolutely love the colors. Love that font you used on the headings. Just super excited to see what you do with animation. Like I see a lot of mouse animations there with the macaroons just like moving on hover. Things coming in from the sides, like really.
Yes, I want to have some fun. Have them floating around, and like I want to build a game in there. Like I like games and JavaScript and stuff like that. So I really like fun stuff. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. Do I want to build basic websites for people? But I don't know what I want to do. Basically, I just want to have fun in Webflow, and that's what I've been doing so far. So yeah, that's what I wanted this website to really show. So yeah, I'm happy it translated.
Yeah, beautiful. You absolutely killed it. Love it.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you because we're in the same accountability group, so it's nice to put a
hey Joe
face to the I love the bright colors and everything about it. But so did you do the 3D side as well? Is that?
Yeah, I did. I went in. I
Wow.
love Blender, and I did the donut and everything, and I've done a handful of other like really cool tutorials. So I wanted to kind of incorporate them. I actually used Dimension for this, Adobe Dimension. I went in. I had I want to have some more fun with the photo shoot, possibly do some cool different things, build an actual case study with it that will showcase all the great things that can be done with all these great tools.
I'm excited to see where you take this. If there's any questions that you have, just ping me a message, because
Yes, I have
just
a
love
lot.
how vibrant that was.
Awesome. We'll definitely get on that, Joel. Thanks.
Great work. Great.
Yeah, Maria, with the white text, that's something that I'm thinking about because I had the noise on there. So I'm playing around with that. If I'm going to add the noise, if I'm going to add like a drop shadow on it to make it a little bit darker. So yes, that is something that I'm definitely looking at. Thank you.
And I think if this is
I
your
answered that question for the 3D I used to mention. So yeah, I think I answered everything.
if this is your start into the world of Webflow and just you finding your space, I worry about what other people will do to compete with you when you actually find your feet, because you're going to have a lot of room for growth in the space, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing that journey as it unfolds. Super talented. I was loving the vibes on those designs. So yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
We'll make sure to hype it up on social media because everybody needs to see this. It's beautiful.
Yes, please and follow me. I have like 13 followers. I just started my Twitter.
Okay, let's do this.
Yes.
Can you share it in the chat with us so that we can all go follow?
Yes, I definitely will. I'm
Okay.
going to add that link right now.
Great.
Yeah, and we've got 3 people. Penny, Daniel, and Victoria are also live tweeting too to help get the word out on projects.
Yeah, and I would
So look
also
for-
I'll share it in the I'll share the Twitter handle and the YouTube, and after the show we'll make sure we give that the rounds too. So okay, so I think I do see a couple other folks here, and I'll try to maybe be fast so we can get 1 or 2 more in with a little sneak peek of something that we're playing with. It has been an idea of mine for a while now. And let's see, how's the best way to show y'all this? Okay, can I swap spots with you, Breeona? Okay, let's see. And I think we'll share screen. Okay. And I'll just use this page here, which was something that was presented earlier. So let's say I'm building something in Webflow and I have collections that I find interesting that I'd like other people to maybe help me collaboratively send content to. Or maybe I'm just trying to build a site. So I might from the browser find something interesting that I want to share with the world. And actually let me shrink this so that I can get a little bit better proportions. And we got a blank screen here, but don't worry, more things are coming. Right now, what we want to show is that you can connect this to Webflow. Let's see if we wanted to add a new site here. And let's say I'm going to grab, which one should we do? Which one do I have open here? Okay, let's do no code video. So I'm going to connect a site, no code video. Let's see if this works. Authorize application, boom. So I come up here, and now I should see no code video. And what I have here are going to be all of my different collections for this website. Nope. Let me see. Maybe I have to refresh this now because I was on the wrong page. Open this guy. So you have a little Webflow tab at the bottom here now. And I should have my sites. Yeah, no code video. Select my video. It's going to map to the field. So let's assume this is a video here that we want to share. Bang, bang. Let's say we want to grab some of this content here. Put a summary in here, and actually maybe not, because I think there may be too much content there. So let's grab that out of here and we'll put that in. Maybe there's like a video description here. And there's lots of fields in this because this is a big collection, but let's see if we wanted to dump an image in here, we could do that. So we'll just dump one of our Webflow thumbnails in here. And if I wanted to add a source, these are, let's see, we'll go add creative, top category. Okay, these are all reference fields. These are reference and let's see, potentially multi-reference fields. that you can add with text. And from here, I have the ability to create this either as a publish live, or I can send it as a draft. So we'll go in and send this as a draft. This is called Chihuahua. The post was created. So if I come in here into the site, I come into my CMS. And I load this into my videos. I will see that I have a Chihuahua video that is now staged for publish with all of the content that I sent over. So all of the related fields that were attached here were filled out here. And eventually there will be like a little activity feed. So the next step is that would then show an activity feed saying Raymmar just published a post or sent a draft to No Code Video. This will show lots of different things. We're actually playing with how that will work. But for right now, we're playing with the idea of just allowing some collaborative creation of collections. You'll be able to invite contributors, and yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of different use cases that we see for this. So I think that's all we will share for now. I've teased this for a while, so some of you maybe have heard some of this in the past, but from there I'll leave it to a couple questions. I probably won't answer a ton of questions, but I am happy to just maybe take some initial thoughts, and yeah, and we'll share. You'll probably see next month, maybe you'll see another sneak peek at that, or an update on the progress of that. But we think there's lots of use cases where you might need to grab stuff from the web and send it to a collection, or more importantly, work with a group of 10, 15, 100 other folks to be able to send content into a collection. So anyway, I'll step off now. Any thoughts, questions for a couple minutes, and then we'll try to get at least one more from the community presentation here. Yeah, Penny's saying.
Yeah, everybody's just loving it.
Penny's saying this would be perfect for showcasing the show and tell participant projects. Yeah, this is going to be one of those things like even like we have testimonial collections on sites, and a lot of times we'll see something on Twitter, and you know, to collect that I have to copy and paste from Twitter, I have to save it in a file somewhere, I have to grab whatever links are relevant, then I have to go to Webflow, I have to open up the collection, I have to go find the collection and fill it in and do all the stuff. Whereas, and so a lot of times it doesn't happen, right? That testimonial never gets updated because whatever. But with something like this, I just open this up, I see it in real time, I open up my testimonials collection, shoop, it's in there. And so yeah, the potential use cases for something like this, and especially if we add a little bit of social. Okay, can we mute if we're not on talking, please? Yeah, so the potential use case for this, especially if we add a little bit of social elements when we add the comments and the activity feeds. And there's a lot more coming. This is all I'm going to share. Truly, the vision for this is actually is pretty big. So anyway, yeah. Any other thoughts, questions? Jeff saying mind is spinning with possible uses. Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually like I'm at this moment I'm looking into how to automate getting data into my CMS collection. But this would be like a good intermediary solution to do it, because I have to like scrape all the data, have two windows next to each other. So it's so much work, but being able to do it like on the page itself would make it so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the hard part here is going to be focusing like what exactly, you know, where we focus the feature development, which is why I kind of want to start sharing a little bit of that and getting it in front of folks, because there's so many different places this could head. So finding the right places is you know, going to be a challenge for us, and something we'll rely on this community for. So I want to answer this question. Russell on YouTube is asking if we were using a back-end relay like Integromat to send that to a collection. Nope, this is all custom code. We're working directly with the API. We've built everything from scratch here. So this is not no code. This is lots of code. And then Chris is saying, would love to see this evolve into some scraping functionality, scrape the field from this class and this page type stuff. I dream of being able to train this thing. So imagine being able to automate this thing and say, come check this page every 30 minutes for an update to X. And you can map those fields to a collection on a site, and it could have like real-time updates. Again, there's a million different directions it could go. So I don't know how or what, but yeah, we'll be looking for alpha testers on this very soon. We'll be looking for some folks to kind of get in the ground and help us build some collections. So we've got a couple ideas for how we do that as we move forward. But yeah, this is going to be one of those, again, one more layer of abstraction to Webflow, where like even Webflow has a very high technical hurdle at this point to get to. So imagine if folks like us could build templates for people, and then you just give them tools to go populate these websites socially. And instead of them building a Facebook page or a Twitter feed or a Circle site or something like that, they're building their Webflow site in whatever way they want it to look. And I think once you get memberships, logic, and subscriptions and some of that other stuff in there, you could get really close to competing with Patreon and Substack and some of these other content platforms, but in just such a unique way. So I think the potential here and just this whole no-code space and all these tools is exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. I have one question. How do I become a tester for this?
Stay tuned. If you're in the pro community, this is the kind of stuff. So yeah, stay tuned in the pro channels. And I think we'll leave it.
Guess I'm gonna have to become a pro.
That's right. And I think we'll leave it at that. I think we'll try to squeeze one more presenter in here. And if I'm not mistaken, after Breeona was Kamran. And sorry to the last two, John and Naftali. We'll have to get you next time. We're gonna do this is our last one. Kamran, you've got 5 minutes. I'll jump off the stage here. It's all yours whenever you're ready. Is he still with us? Oh, I see. There you go. Then make sure you unmute yourself up there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I've been working on this project, like community project. So maybe. Share.
Okay.
I think you have to share your screen. We're not seeing.
And I think you're still muted here. Maybe we're having some connections issues.
You see my screen?
There we go. We can see your screen now.
Okay. Okay. So this is the project that I am working on, like for a lot of time. So this will be a project where a lot of sliders, like with the slide.
Yeah, I saw.
So what is the purpose?
So you will be able to copy and paste that slider straight into your Webflow site, just like Leroux or.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I saw this the
So
other
how would you copy it? Sorry, Raymmar.
No, I was just gonna say I saw Kamran, you shared this the other day, and I was like, oh, this is super cool because I always hear people complaining about sliders in Webflow being complicated, and yeah, this looked like a really good solution. So walk us through the whole like setup process here, because it was like, yeah, he's got like a nice documentation section here too.
So this is the first step. You just have to copy this script and then go into your Webflow project and maybe paste it inside the head. And then copy the second script. Okay. And then the final step will be to copy that component. It will show you like the component is already copied. And then component is
just that easy, huh?
Wait, everybody needs this.
This is
After this, we need to share this right now because I feel like a lot of people are going to be cloning this thing. Did you put it on the showcase?
So there are a lot of sliders like. No, it's not like in the showcase yet. I will maybe share it tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure you let us know when you share this so we could like hype this up.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the newsletter even, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can share this URL because it's ready. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you, yeah.
Well, there you go. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's super cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, seeing that come in. I think I don't know where you shared it. Was it in Slack? You shared that last week or something? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're right at 1:30. I think this is.
Yeah, I shared it in the Slack.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. This was a lot of fun. Melissa, thoughts this month compared to last month? We'll do the same thing, Colleen, right after that. What are we thinking? This has been a lot of fun. The YouTube has been way more active than I thought. We have, what's our peak concurrent? Like, holy cow. I think we got up to 119.
It's like 110 or something?
We got up to 119. There's still 102 folks on the stream, and there's only 30 in the gather space. So before, when it was like 50 on the stream and 50 in gather, I was like, okay, maybe it's the same people. But now with 100 people on the stream and only 30 in here in gather, I'm thinking it's definitely not the same folks. So what are your thoughts, Melissa, as we're doing our second kind of big show and tell? I think this is going to become a high demand event moving forward, huh?
Yeah, I think that compared to the first time, more people, crazier projects, like just seeing people build all this stuff on Webflow is so mind-blowing and also inspiring for other people to see what's possible. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you get in your head, like, I wonder if that's possible, if it can be done, but seeing that other people are doing it hopefully will inspire even more people to keep creating things, and Finsweet coming out with cool stuff, and all the other libraries. So I am so excited. I'll be here every month if you want to invite me. So loved it.
Of course.
Thank you.
And Colleen, I'd be interested in your take too, because we started doing these show and tells kind of sporadically last year, and then last month it almost didn't happen. We were like scrambling. We were like, we don't want to do it, and we were like kind of bummed out about it. And then Melissa's like, I'll come co-host, and we were like, oh, and so we got excited, and then all of a sudden last month was really cool, and this month has been a blast. So Colleen, what's your take here as we're
I think that part of this is just that the community is so full of experimenting and trying things. So thank you to everyone for rolling with us as we're trying new things. Sorry that we didn't get to everybody today. Mark your calendars for June 13th. That should be, if we keep the pattern, that's probably when we'll have the next one. And if you've been enjoying today, I believe, Melissa, you've got something happening on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, so we have the Webflow Party challenge
on
which is going to be
Wednesday,
very similar
right?
to this. So if you guys want to join it, more than welcome. I want to have everybody here over there. We're basically one already, so.
Nice. Yeah, this community is really starting to pick up, I think, and I'm excited about where all of this is headed now and into the future. You will hear more from Melissa, Colleen, myself, and a few others who are working on different events in the community. Flowcella's coming up, right, Melissa? We've got streams tomorrow, streams Wednesday, 2 weeks of Flowcella coming up. Yeah, I see in-person meetups picking back up. I see so much stuff coming in this community that, it's just going to be a blast.
Yes.
And if anyone has feedback on how to make these events better, or something that you think is missing from the community, please reach out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be interesting in the sign up form to enter as well. Like, which tools from Finsweet did you use, if any?
Yeah, maybe just tools in general. Maybe there's like a multi-select where you can like put your main tools and you can share like what you build, and that could be cool. And I don't know where these submissions are going, if they're sitting in Airtable, I think, but maybe at some point we link them up and there could be a cool Webflow site associated with the show and tell that links to the videos and everything. I don't know. Let's not get it too ahead of ourselves, but this is how these events grow.
What do you mean? We have to make this America's
pero
Got
con
Talent.
calma,
What do you
con calma, en tiempo.
You know that if we're gonna do it right.
I know. That's the problem, is every time we're like, let's add a little more. But that's how we get to, again, cool stuff like Clone Comp and the open house and all sorts of different stuff. So any thoughts from the crowd here? Let's open it up. We got some people here. Any thoughts, any feedback you'd like to share with us right now? Same thing in the YouTube comments. Feel free to share your thoughts if you've got any.
I feel like we need to start incorporating like the little like golden ticket for the like the most impressive ones, so people can like start getting, even more inspired and do even more, and like we feature them somewhere, like make them a superstar.
Yeah, I think a cool little showcase site for these would be great. And I think right now we're just doing all the signups kind of on the fly in person, but I could see a time where this is like an invite type thing where people have to kind of submit, and then we select kind of the different broad spectrum of like beginner's project. Maybe it's like somebody's first project. It's like maybe give some preference to if somebody hasn't presented before versus if they present every month kind of thing. And especially with a limited amount of time.
I'm thinking the show. Yeah, and the showcase is a little bit tricky because a lot of the projects are in process. So it would take maybe a long time for them to be in the showcase. But if, they win a golden ticket on the stream, it kind of becomes sort of like that little push you give to that person to actually finish the project. And once it's finished, they're already a superstar,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Great. Any other thoughts from the crowd or audience here?
Yeah, maybe you can give like whatever the best project in the month. You can we can like try to give them a direct like semi-final entry into like Clone Camp, like the yearly big event. We can have something like that, so they get to like second round or like semi-final of that competition.
Colleen, what if
like a Finsweet awards, preliminaries?
What if we?
Your effing award.
Effing award.
What if we blended some
maybe for like Clone Camp?
What if we blended some of the critique stuff and brought in some live like feedback mechanism so that the audience and stuff could vote as people are presenting or something?
The audience chooses.
Yeah, could we do something where like as part of show and tell, the audience is like casting a real-time vote, American Idol style. So at the end, we kind of have like, here's our, our favorites for the week, or there could be some stuff like that.
That would be so cool.
Okay.
I think that'd be great. Why not?
Yeah.
And also, anyone, as you're in the coming weeks, as you see projects, feel free to let other people know about this event. If there's something that causes your jaw to drop and you're wondering, boy, I wonder how they did that. Invite them to come.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Well, on that note, I think, I got to dip. I've got a 2:00 that I need to prep for, but this has been great. I appreciate all of you for hanging out. Melissa, thanks for co-hosting again. Colleen, thanks for helping us run and organize on the back end. To our live tweeters, Penny, Daniel, and Victoria, appreciate you all keeping everybody up on Twitter. Go check out Twitter. If you're in this community and you're not on Twitter, you for sure 100% should get on Twitter and just say hi to everyone. Go follow Breeona. Go follow everyone in this group. Drop your Twitter handles in the chat here, whether you're on YouTube or in Gather, and let's see if we can get everyone a couple extra followers today. So any other final words, Colleen, before we close out here?
No, come next time and I'll drop a link to the Airtable base so you can go check out people's projects and follow them.
Nice. Melissa, any final thoughts?
That's awesome. I actually want to say something. Colleen is the real MVP. She is the spine of this community. Like, Colleen, you're so organized. I'm so thankful for everything you do. And like Raymmar, you're bringing the community together. I love it. Thank you so much, even though I'm the new one here, but but thank you for having me. I love seeing everybody, and I'll see everybody again, hopefully on Wednesday, and then Flowchetta, baby.
Yeah, it's a week full of events. Stream Tuesday and Thursday for Finsweet. Floxy's has an event Wednesday. Melissa's got an event Wednesday. Flochella's Friday. Jam-packed. So we will see you all lots and lots this week. So thanks, everyone.
Oh, and also tomorrow is actually the Webflow show, and we're going to be interviewing John D. Sanders. That's going to be really, really good right after the Finsweet stream.
And that's on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So you guys officially have no lives this week. You just came hang out with us for the whole week. Just block off your calendar and, come kick it with us for the week.
Right.
Okay. All right. I'm going to kill the stream on that note.
guys.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. We appreciate you live on